Mr. Lim Guan Eng, Chief Minister of Penang.
Yang berhormat Chow Guan Yao, the Penang State Exco Member, Dr. Sri Yu Chen, the Chairman of the Penang Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Pin Chong, the PTMP convener, Sri Tan Kok Peng, the advisor, Yang berhormat Wong Hon Wai, the State Assemblyman for ITAM and my Political Secretary, all the members of the Penang Chinese Chamber of Commerce, a very good afternoon and 大家下午好. First, let me thank the convener, Dr. Pin Chong, for organizing this seminar, or this briefing of the business opportunities arising from Penang Transport Master Plan. I think only the Penang Chinese Chamber of Commerce knows what business opportunities that can benefit the public. But I'm here to also touch on that, but also expand on our vision for this Penang Transport Master Plan, not just in terms of business opportunity, but also for Penang as a livable city, as a hub to attract talent. Three of our main duties as a government. Number one, of course, is to provide good governance and clean leadership. So I think that always is a model. If you have a good government, you have a clean leadership, that is always a model for a better governance, a better government, a more effective society that can deliver basic public services. That's number one. Number two, the second challenge will be to build and improve on infrastructure, not just connectivity, but also digital connectivity. And thirdly, of course, is to build up and develop human talent so that we can have creativity and innovation. Because in this society, innovation would enable us to be a high-income economy. So these are the three challenges. Now, in order to do that, to fulfill these three challenges, I think we must also make sure that the basic conditions are met. What are the basic conditions? You must be livable, clean, green, safe and healthy. And to be a livable city, don't forget, you must also have good communications. There must be good connectivity, which of course, again, what I mentioned just now, our three main tasks: good governance, clean leadership, number one. Number two, build infrastructure, both public communications and also digital connectivity. And three, to attract human talent. People build human talent. And we always say that human talent is the new oil of the 21st century. No human talent, no progress. No human talent, no industries, no manufacturing investments will come in. But to do that, to achieve that, I think, as I said, a livable city is prerequisite, a precondition. Clean, green, safe, and healthy. And that, of course, requires good public communications. And that's why the Public Transport Master Plan is born out of this need for Penang to be a livable city, a modern livable city. Without resolving traffic congestion, Penang cannot prosper. I still remember when we first became government in 2008, we always said that there are three C's. The three C's, the three challenges: crime, cleanliness, and congestion. I think we have solved the first two C's. Penang is one of the safest states in the country. Of course, not safe at no crime, but still safer than many. And Penang is cleaner also. That one, I think no one disputes that. But in terms of congestion, I think we have not been able to overcome that. Why? Because we are the victim of our own success. More investments come in. More tourists come in. Investments, you look at the 7-year period from 2008 to 2015, we recorded around over 48 billion ringgit investments, compared to The previous 7-year period from 2001 to 2000 to 2007, we recorded only around 29 billion. So it's a 90% increase in terms of investment. And of course, that is where with more investments coming in, you see the build-up of congestion. And tourism. We've expanded the airport a few years back. Maximum capacity 6.5 million passengers. That has already been reached this year. So more tourists coming, at least 6.5 million. Domestic, local, some by car, some by boat. Look at our cruise liners, the Sutherland Pier. Big ships coming. That's why you see our roads getting more and more clogged up, even though we do a lot of new roads. Udini roundabout, Jalan Ahmad Noor, Udini roundabout, these are all new roads, but still congested. We know, we agree that building new roads is not the only solution. It is part of the solution. It is not the only solution. The real solution will be to move people and not move vehicles. Now, how do you move people and not move vehicles? You build an efficient and effective public transport. And that's where the Public Transport Master Plan comes in. Yes, LRT. Yes, highways. Yes, bridges, or even undersea bed tunnels. But not just for Penang. You must also cover the mainland. Because Penang doesn't consist of the island. Penang consists of both Seberang Perai and Penang Island. That is the difference between the Pakatan state government and the federal government. Federal government, when they talk about LRT, they only talk about Penang Island alone. We talk about Penang Island and Seberang Perai. Because we feel that there should be closer links between both halves. So that's why we want to build the LRT across to Seberang Jaya, to Batua, to Bukit Bertaja, and of course to Seberang Perai Selatan and Patakawan. Now this will be a massive effort. Expected completion date maybe 2030 or 2035. I may not live to see it, but you all will definitely live to see it. But at least I know, Chow knows, that we have started doing the long-term planning where our children will be able to enjoy the fruits of our labors. And I think that is what a good government should be, to plan ahead, to plan not only for this living generation, but to plan for the generation unborn, so that our children can live better than us. There's one famous Italian philosopher called Antonio Gramsci. I don't know whether you know Antonio Gramsci. He said this: sometimes the problems in the world is this: the old is dying, and the new is yet unborn. So people of my age, myself, I may be dying, but I must still think for those who are yet unborn. Because that is what a leader, that is what a government should do. Think for those who are yet unborn. And the Penang government, not only myself, Chow, but all our state members, we think not of the present generation now, we think of the future generation yet unborn. Sometimes this will be very unpopular, because you are planning for those who are not born, and those who are not born, they don't have votes. As compared to those who are, like my age, dying, but not willing to let go, still thinking only of ourselves. Part of human nature, common, selfish, same, that's human nature. We want to live as pleasant as possible, forget about those who are yet unborn. It's natural. You know, sometimes we are all part of that human nature. But I think it is our responsibility sometimes to open up and think that we have to do something for the future generation yet unborn. So if we can resolve that, if we can think of the future yet unborn, I think we can resolve the transportation crisis, the congestion crisis. And there's a lot of potential for Penang. You talk about opportunities. you know Knight Frank, the global property consultant. In their report this year, they said the #1 commercial investment location in Malaysia is where? Where? Any global property consultants here? Where? Where's Michael Gay? Ini tak ada sini. Where? Stand up. Michael, what did Mike Frank say? #1 commercial investment where? So don't take it from the Chief Minister. Take it from the property expert. Knight Frank says Penang. They did a survey of 700 property players. They did a survey of 700 property players. They asked them, #2, Kuala Lumpur. How many percent? 56% says Kuala Lumpur. Penang, how many percent says Penang? 67% says Penang. And at 11%, margin is very big. Huge. And I'm shocked when I saw this report. Because I said, how can Penang be better than Kuala Lumpur? Capital city, never mind. Got LRT some more. Penang got LRT or not? No. Penang don't have LRT, yet we can beat Kuala Lumpur. Just imagine if we have LRT, Penang will soar like a rocket. Right or not? That's why you say that, why are you so optimistic about Penang? I said I'm not optimistic about Penang. I'm boundlessly optimistic about Penang. The reason is because I think we have the treaties, we have the talent, we have the technology, and most important of all, we have the tolerance of new ideas. Penang is a bastion of freedom. We are free. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, fundamental rights, but most important of all, we have the freedom to realize our potential. We have the equal opportunity to be the best we want to be. And you have a government that is willing to give you that freedom. That's why you see art and culture is blooming in Penang. Not just the wall paintings. Art galleries are opening everywhere. Museums are opening everywhere. Why? Because Penang is free. We show that freedom works in Penang. That freedom can live in Penang. That freedom can benefit every one of us. Whether rich or poor, regardless of our background, as long as we are free to work hard, we are free to be rich and successful. That is the Penang promise. But that promise can only be fulfilled if we do the basic rights. Not only do the right things, but do it right. Do the right thing. Build public infrastructure, have public communications. Do it right. Have public consultation like today. Get your views, get your feedback, so that we can incorporate as much as we can. Let me end by saying that no communication, no public transport system is perfect. That's why we are having this public consultation. But there is no one who doesn't want a public transport line as near as possible to their premise, to their house, or to their office. Everyone wants a public transport line as close as possible to their office or to their house. Isn't it? Isn't it? Those who don't want, I think they should think again. I remember the story of Taiwan in Taipei University, and the political university. I think 30 years ago there was an idea, there was an intention to build an LRT line. The Taipei University, the students supported. The Zhengda political university objected. Political university, you know lah. So okay, since you objected, they didn't bring the line to political university. Now, after 30 years, wow, the students in political university regretted like hell. Because without that line, you got to walk very far. When rain, some more worse. Hurricane, some more. Taipei got hurricane. Worse. So if they wanted the line, you know what they had to do? Because when they want to give you free, you don't want. Now, in order to bring the line there, they have to sell their land and offer in exchange to build a line over there. So even universities can make mistakes, we also understand. Political university, Zhengda, one of the top universities in Taiwan, also can make mistakes. So we also can make mistakes here. We are not as good as university. Sure, we can make mistakes. So we understand. But we hope that we think of the future, not think of the present. Think of our unborn children, not think of ourselves. If we want to be popular, very easy, don't do lah. The more you do, the more problems you get. The more you say, the more wrong things you kena. Correct or not? But we are elected with a 68% mandate in the last elections, not just to sit quiet and do nothing. We are elected so that we do something to make Penang better, brighter, and an international city. That is second to none in Malaysia. We can be number one. Matt Frank already said we can be number one. We can be number one. Can we be number one or not? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, we can. We can be number one. Provided we do not only right things, but we do it right. And public transport is a very key element of this effort to do it right. Of course, since the federal government don't want to give us money, we got to find the money ourselves. We got to build and construct the financial architecture. And what is the financial architecture? Land swap. Leverage on something that is most valuable in Penang. Not by getting existing land, but by land reclamation. Land reclamation very unpopular, we know. But that is the only financing model available to us. Without land reclamation, there will be no public transport system, no LRTs, no solution to traffic congestion. Without public land reclamation, you talk about future expansion of the Penang International Airport. Also, no hope. Because now 6.5 million maximum you got to expand. Later also you can expand some more. With this public transport coming in, we think more and more tourists will come. And I think more and more tourists will come. Not just for our food, not just for our durians, but also for our heritage, our culture, and the beauty that is Penang. More will come. So you talk about expansion, you need land also. And of course, you need also more land for industrial, residential, as well as commercial purposes. So we need to do all that. And that's why it is not easy. But don't just dismiss land reclamation as something that should be avoided at all costs. The problem is this. We can understand why there are a lot of cynical people who don't trust, who have lost the trust when you talk about doing things the right way or doing things right. Because in the past, everything is always done wrong. Too much corruption, too much hanky-panky. So all the promises never kept. We understand. Land reclamation, instead of taking sand, they go and dig the sand under the sea. Seabed mining caused a complete collapse of the marine ecosystem. But trust us when we say we will do things right. Because we got no personal benefit at stake. We got nothing to gain personally. We will do things right. Because we want Penang to be green. We want also to be environmentally friendly. And if we can resolve these technological problems, I'm sure we can have not only land reclamation, but together with the public transport system. Countries in the West have reclaimed land without any problems. Europe, US. Why? Because they do it the right way. They do it according to proper guidelines and environmentally approved steps and measures. So we will make sure that these measures are complied with. They will be full compliance. We will not give them a free pass. No free passes. They will be done properly. That is our guarantee. But do not judge us by the previous government. Don't judge us like that. This is a different government. We want to operate by international standards. And don't forget, we have fulfilled and complied with international standards. Transparency International praised Penang for the way we manage our financial affairs. The only state government in Malaysian history to be praised by Transparency International. No other state government or federal government has been praised by Transparency International. Only Penang. And that is why we say this. We will do the necessary compliance measures to make sure it is done properly. So once again, I thank you for your attention. We hope that you can give us the necessary feedback, as well as also, of course, support this effort. It is going to be a long haul. It's not going to be something that is done overnight. Up to 2030, maybe even 2035. But it is worth the effort. Because if we succeed, the prosperity of Penang will be assured for the next 50 years, until 2065. There are very few moments in history where you do a project that can assure the prosperity of a state for the next 50 years. And you are part of this critical moment. You are part of this incredible journey to assure the prosperity of Penang for the next 50 years. So I do not know whether we will still be around to finish the job. But we are going to start, and we hope that you can help us to finish the job. Thank you very much.